Should I have it on you?
Turn around
Should I-
and watch the video.
This is where the chapter ends. No one now begins. Time has come for everything. The hardest part is when you know all of these years. Where's we were here, all ending. But I always remember we had the time of our lives. Now the pages turn, the stories we will write. We have had the time of our lives. Now I'm not forget. Faces left behind. It's hard to walk away from the best of days. But if it has to wait, I'm glad you have been my friend in the time of our lives. Where the water meets the land, there is shifting in the sand. Like the tide that ebbs and flows, memories will come and go. All of these years, where we were here, all ending, but I'll always remember we had the time of our lives. And now the pages turn, the stories we will write. We had the time of our lives. From the best of days, but if it has to end, I'm glad you have been my friends in the time of our lives. We say goodbye, we hold on tight to these memories that never die. We say goodbye, we hold on tight. eyes to these memories that never die. Stories we write. We have had the time of our lives, and I will not forget the faces left behind. It's hard to walk away. In the time of our lives, and I have been my friend in the time of our
So welcome. Now that I have to get the tears out of my eyes, there hasn't been one time that I've watched it that I haven't bawled. So at least I haven't run my mascara tonight yet. But tonight is about celebration. It's about celebrating the graduates that we see before us. It's about taking pictures one more time. So parents, get up, move around. If you miss a shot, ask us to do it again, and we'll stand until you get what you want. We know that we're saying goodbye tonight, but we know you will be back. It always happens. They leave and then they come back. They like the food. I don't know what it is. Just like you guys, they come back at lunchtime, especially because they know there's something always to eat. So alternative. Let's talk about alternative. There's alternative rock, alternative lifestyles, alternative directions, alternative food. You get what I'm saying? Alternative is everywhere, but the actual definition of alternative is following non-traditional or unconventional ideas, existing outside the establishment. And my favorite part of the definition is existing outside the establishment. And as I look around to the parents here, existing outside the establishment defines a lot of you guys, especially the race car crowd. Where are you? So, welcome to the graduation of the best alternative kids in the state of Michigan. But before we go any further, I would like to introduce Dwight Mann to come to the stage to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Dwight has enlisted in the Army National Guard. And he leaves for South Carolina in September. Please rise as we say the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry if I seem a little nervous, it's because I am. In 2016, I had a very important talk with my parents where I told them through tears that I would never graduate high school. That was something that I truly believed. I had been through both public and online schooling at that point, and I failed miserably at both. Public school was hard for me. I suffered from social anxiety. I never truly felt like I belonged. It was too big and overwhelming, and eventually it all became too much for me to handle. I dropped out and resumed my studies through online schooling. It seemed like the perfect fit until I realized I was too afraid to ask for help. I sat quietly as I watched the school year go by and all my grades dropped to Fs. Anxiety got the better of me. I had lost all hope. My parents, however, knew better than to let me give up and in January of 2017, I was accepted in the Gateway Academy. The first time I visited Gateway, I can't imagine I made a good impression. I met Ms. Walker with tears in my eyes, doing anything I could to avoid eye contact. My parents did most of the talking for me. I guess I, or my parents, must have done something right though, because Ms. Walker graciously offered me a spot here, and I nervously accepted. I was so shy when I first came in for class. I was too nervous to even leave my seat. It was like that for a while, but over time Gateway became like a second home to me. The teachers were a blessing, and I know I wouldn't be standing here without them. Mrs. Stage helped break me out of my shell when she invited me to take a cooking class with her and another student. It was at this class that I not only learned how to make the infamous black bean brownies, but also made my first friend from Gateway. Some of my favorite memories are riding in the van with Mrs. Stage and listening to her stories. Miss Wilka did what I thought was the impossible. She managed to teach me math, my worst subject. She helped me understand things that other teachers never could. I think I managed to pass with an A or B because of her, and I am so lucky I had such a smart and brilliant teacher like her to help me. Ms. McQueen brought me happiness and joy. She could always make me laugh and was so easy to talk to. Going to the YMCA with her was so much fun, especially when she joined in playing games with us. Ms. Walker was always there for me. Not only did she encourage me and believe in me, but she always supported my creative side and let me work with things that would bring out the best in me and showcase my abilities. The teachers made school less intimidating for me, and I'm so grateful for them. I was given so many opportunities here, like all the wonderful volunteer work, gardening in the schoolyard, cooking for other students, cleaning up the school, and even photography. I felt like I had a purpose and I belonged. My social anxiety was hardly an issue anymore, and I was actually excited to get up and come to school. I started Gateway anxiety-ridden, afraid of my peers and my coursework, with the idea that I'd never be going anywhere in life. I am proud to say that I'm leaving Gateway with confidence that I can do greater things, happiness, and even a few college credits up my sleeve. I owe it all to my teachers and the support I received at this amazing school. I can't wait to look back and remember high school, not as a scary and sad time, but one of the best experiences of my life. I will cherish the memories I have here forever. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Nick. You may know me. You may not. I started at Gateway over 3 years ago. I was homeschooled for a long time, but when I got to the 9th grade, I realized I wasn't doing the work necessary to graduate. I really needed to get my life in gear. With a push from my parents and Miss Walker accepting me, I started work at Gateway. Automatically, the atmosphere was perfect for me. There was plenty of opportunity to interact with others who understood me. But instead of being labeled as weird when I was quiet, they instead were super nice about it. This eventually led me to come out of my shell and transform from the quiet kid in the corner to a very outgoing person who even got in trouble for being too talkative. Now I have some amazing friends that I plan on keeping around for a while. There were so many opportunities Gateway gave me. One specific one I can think of is how often I was able to go shopping to buy ingredients, then cook and prepare dishes to serve to other students. This was always valuable to me as it taught me effective shopping, cooking, and communication skills with other people working in the kitchen. Another thing, and this might sound silly, but filling out paperwork. I was never good at filling it out before. I'd always need a parent to help me. The teachers at Gateway Academy would sit with me and teach me about different sections meant and what I need. The teachers and staff at Gateway are what comes to mind when I think of Gateway. They're all so amazing and unique in their own ways. Ms. Walker is super blunt about situations and how life works. She always gives good advice and changes my outlook on problems and situations. My mother, Ms. Wilga, is a very funny and is a jokester. Is very helpful and a math genius. Ms. McQueen is super friendly and fun to talk to. Ms. Stage was always super fun to be around. I knew when it was time to get to work, though. I'll never forget the moment she had too much caffeine. Ms. Eckhart was always easy to approach and talk to. And Ms. Palmetier always made me feel like I invented the first rocket ship when I passed class. Gateway saw potential in me, and thanks to them, I was able to dual enroll in my last year of high school, which was amazing as it really encouraged me to further my education. I've signed up for classes and will be a full-time student at KVCC in the fall. Who knows where I would be right now without Gateway.
Because of the way our school is set up, we may have students for a few months or up to 4 to 5 years. Think about it. You know your children. 4 to 5 years. Some of you owe us big time. Yeah. 5 days a week, 7 hours a day. Ronnie, good job. Yeah, you know what you owe us. And the secrets that they tell us about you guys, it's good stuff, really. But honestly, how many of you weren't sure if today was going to happen? Let me see your hands. But it did, and it happened because they worked hard. Our students have to pass the same classes that students at traditional high schools do. We have the Michigan Merit Curriculum, which says it doesn't matter what school you go to. If you want this diploma, you have to take 4 years of math, 4 years of English, science, with chemistry and physics. It doesn't matter what school you go to. If you want that diploma, you take those classes. And so just because they went to an alternative school doesn't mean that it was any easier for our students than it was for the kids at other schools. So the kids that you see over here, they worked their butts off to get their diplomas, and I want you to understand that. It would have been easier for them to quit at times, and I know they wanted to, and it would have been easier for them to quit than to go on. But they did, and that's why they're here tonight. So now they did it. We can all breathe a sigh of relief because they're here waiting to get their diplomas as they cross the stage. So normally this is where I would introduce my boss, Christopher Rundle, and he would come and address the students. But due to some health issues, he's not able to be with us tonight. But most of the students know Mr. Rundle, and they know how hard he worked to get Gateway started 7 years ago along with the school board. And they have a message for him, and they know that he is watching us as we live stream. So students, why don't you get your message from Mr. Rundle?
Stand right there. Right now, should I do right now? I'm totally not gonna get it. Totally not about to be able to get it. There's no way. I'm gonna have to walk down. No, I'm just gonna have to walk
We
around.
did
Walk
practice
fast.
this. Okay. So hopefully they're not upside down or backwards. For those of you on the stage that can't see, it says thanks for Gateway.
Totally distract yourself. Just sit here. Alright, hold on. Ready?
The winter of 2015 was a very 2015 was a very difficult year for me. I was discouraged because I was really struggling with school grades and relationships with my family and friends. My sister was already going to Gateway, and she talked to me about how the school functioned and what she did during the day. As a result, I made an appointment with Miss Walker. We talked about me joining, and the very same day I joined. I started at Gateway, and things did not immediately improve. I was still struggling with self-confidence, wasn't sure how I fit into these tight groups of kids. But since my sister was at the school, it helped a bit, and I felt stronger with her there. I still struggled with grades and focusing for a while, but with the help of the teachers and some people in our community, I improved my reading comprehension and began taking notes. We started going to the YMCA and we met a guy named Tramande who really helped us with group building exercises and leadership exercises. I learned a lot from him and definitely grew from it. Now that I've graduated with the support of my teachers and everyone who helped me along the way, I can finally say I'm about to go to trade school where I want to learn mechanics. I'd like to thank Sierra Patrick with MRS as she's helped me get ready for life after high school. I would also like to thank my family and teachers for always being there to help me as I need.
Hi, my name is Charlie Nations. I'm 18 years old, and I'm getting ready to attend KCC in the fall of this year. The plan I have envisioned for my future is with an associate's degree as a physical therapy assistant. Gateway was one of the best experiences of my life. This place and the people here have supported and guided me more than I could have ever imagined. And no matter how hard I tried to give up on my education, Mrs. Walker, Mrs. Wilga, Mrs. Stage, Mrs. McQueen, and Mrs. Palmetier never let me, always pushing me to keep going with my head held high. I was so grateful to receive such a great support system. Through Gateway, I had met some pretty great people that have helped me get to where I am today. I was helped to get in touch with people like Sierra Patrick and Holly Baker from Michigan Rehabilitation Services, who help students transition into the real world and prepare for college life and life beyond high school. I also met Mr. and Mrs. Lambert, a couple who substitute for us and became more than just substitutes to most. I came to Gateway Academy 1 month into my sophomore year. Things were pretty rough for me at the time. I had been struggling with social anxiety and severe depression, which had not only led to a pretty big decline in not only my attendance, but my grades as well. When I first came to Gateway, I didn't want to talk. I had no intention of making new friends, and I just wanted to come to school, do my work, and get done as soon as possible with no distractions along the way. And if anyone really knows Miss Walker, you know that attitude won't last long. Thanks to the Gateway community, I had all the support I could ever ask for. Over time, I couldn't help but be happy to be here, and this was the first time in a very long time I had felt happy at school. And it honestly really didn't even hit me until I didn't have to be here every day. I got myself in such a big old hurry to be done, and never in a million years did I think that I would say I miss high school. Not many kids are lucky enough to say that, but the kids who have graduated from here have received that blessing. For me, Gateway made high school an awesome experience, not just something I was required to do. I learned so much, and not just from the tutorials on the computers, but from among the wisdom of the teachers here. They taught me how to find peace with the things I can't change, and how to conquer the ones that I can. I've grown so much throughout my 3 years here, and we've all been through a lot, but quitting was never an option. I've had friends that have turned into family, teachers that have turned into mentors, some were like parents, and I couldn't have done it without them. I'm thankful for every opportunity Gateway has given me. One thing I've learned is that there are just some favors that aren't repayable. Thank you.
The mission of Cold Lake Community Schools is to educate every child to achieve his or her full ability. Now it says educate every child, not graduate every child, because if our mission was to graduate every child, that would mean that we would get them to school, have them prove their credits, get them in and out as fast as they could, like on an assembly line, just to get them through school. But because our mission is to educate children, we know that it's bigger than just learning. It's knowing how to survive in life. And because of the way that our school is set up, we are able to get them ready for life by educating them in life skills and in conflict resolution, learning how to keep jobs, and learning how to survive in the real life. Well, how can you do that if you come to school and your head is so full of stuff? You're worried about where you're going to live. You're worried about worried what you're gonna eat. You're worried about your mom and dad at home. You're worried just about life in general. And focusing on school is the last thing that you can do. So at Gateway, we make a deliberate effort to address mental wellness in our students. And we are fortunate enough to have Dennis LeClaire as our school therapist. And I tell you, he not just helps our school students, he helps the staff as well. Yeah, he does. He comes once a week, and he's done that for the past 4 years. He's available for house calls, he makes phone calls, he's available whenever we need him, and he has become part of our Gateway family. And it's because of his influence that many of our students are graduating, because they learn how to deal with life and deal with the stresses so that we as educators are able to do our job and educate them. So Dennis was the speaker that they voted on to have come as their class representative. So thank you, Dennis.
$54 pages. We'll make it quick. Thank you for allowing me to share in this important milestone in your journey. Appreciate it. Can we stop for just a moment to recognize and appreciate your parents, teachers, and all those who have supported you on this part of your journey? Thinking about the effort that parents put in to raise their children, I read an email from an appliance manufacturer that said behind every high school graduate, there were 7,488 loads of laundry, 2,700 loads of dishes, 19,710 meals. Thank you, parents. Thank you. Can we also just for a moment take this time to acknowledge and appreciate the work and effort, truly the work and effort these young adults have expended to be here at their high school graduation. Commencement is both an ending and a beginning. Who you are has always been enough, and there is more you can become. Consider all you have learned and experienced so far. You were enough when you started this part of your journey, and you are enough for the next part of your journey. Who you are is in the process of becoming, and each day is a time to reflect on where you are in that process. There will be more. Graduating from high school is an acknowledgement and recognition of the basic level of education and understanding needed to become responsible adults. When we were born, we could not survive without a community of responsible adults to support us and help us learn what is needed to both survive on our own and to prosper in community. Learning the value of work and effort in accomplishing what is important to us while working within and contributing to our community is the work you have been doing. You can go with the flow, as they say, and see where life takes you, or you can learn to swim and see where you can take your life. Attend to this day and aim for something higher, something better. I believe that our primary obligations in life are to be true to ourselves and to put in the work and effort needed to create a life and a community that we experience is better today than it was yesterday. Before you begin each day, consider, what could I do today that would make life better? When you have done and finished that inventory, what one thing will I commit myself to do today that would make life better? Choose one thing and do it. There are 4 characteristics I would like to leave with you. And these are characteristics I respect and have found useful in cultivating my own life and recommend that you at least reflect on. 1, show up. I truly admire people who show up now in this moment, physically, emotionally, and psychologically. You and I can affect very little influence in life if we are not present in both time and place. You are a valuable and relevant component of life in general and your community specifically. It takes courage to participate, engage. 2, pay attention. When you show up, you have the opportunity to engage and attend to life as it is. First, attend to your own nature, your qualities and weaknesses, then to the nature of others in your community. Choose people and a community of friends that support you as you grow and develop. We learn by doing small things, one after the other. Recognize that life always provides feedback to your participation in the form of consequences. Attend to the relationship between your thoughts, words, and actions. The consequences that you receive are life's response to your actions, not your intentions. 3, tell the truth. I've always admired people who can share their truth honestly and openly, without expectation, defensiveness, coercion, contempt, anger, or contrition. The more you show up in life, attend to your nature, the nature of others, and the environment, the more you will come to know and understand what is true for you. It is the light of who you are, and the world needs your light. I've heard that knowing the truth will set you free. It is my experience that discovering that truth will invariably, inevitably, cause you a great deal of discomfort before it sets you free. It is part of the process in developing character, courage, responsibility, and wisdom. 4, I'm getting near the end, so be patient. We live in a time and in a culture where corporations and advertisers want you to believe that instant gratification, being constantly entertained, and never being uncomfortable are worthy goals in life. In my life, I have learned that real gratification only comes with diligent effort and a sense of having done the best I could do. Being entertained is a valuable and necessary reward earned by the work and effort I have spent. And most, if not all, of the discomfort I have experienced in life was a result of wanting life to be easy and trying to force life to fit into my understanding, instead of accepting life as it is, expanding my understanding, and learning how to adapt. Almost done. I would like to end with advice from the poet and philosopher Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. That's a mouthful. He says, until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits oneself and providence moves to. All sorts of things occur to help one that would not otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidences and meetings and material assistance which no one could have dreamed would have come his or her way. Whatever you can do, or dream you can, begin. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. It has been an honor and my privilege to have gotten to share a little of your journey with you. I admire and respect each one of you for who you are and for who you are capable of becoming. Good luck and God bless you.
My name is John Yale. This is my third year at Gateway, and honestly, I don't know where I'd be without this place. 3 years ago, before I found Gateway, I was going nowhere. I had been expelled and didn't want anything to do with school or getting an education. I was told by multiple people that I wouldn't amount to anything and that I was a lost cause. Fortunately, Gateway changed me and made me have a new outlook on life. Gateway made me see that the best way to go through life is to have an education and to further my education. There's something about Gateway that helped me succeed in school and receive a high school diploma. School has always been a struggle for me. I was hanging out with the wrong crowd and always in some sort of trouble. I really didn't care what happened to me, but now being here at Gateway, I do. This place really does change you and will help you in any way they can. The teachers here are honestly a work of art, and without them, I honestly would not have a high school diploma or want to continue in school. Since I came to Gateway, I figured out what I wanted to do with my life. Now that I have graduated, I will be attending MCTI in the fall and become a certified welder in all forms. After MCTI, I plan on getting my A and B CDL. I always wanted to make it in life and not have to struggle. The biggest accomplishment is graduating and proving everyone wrong. I can't wait to attend trade school and start creating my future by doing the things I love to do. It's always been a long road, but I'm glad I stuck with it and pushed myself and had all the teachers here at Gateway to help encourage me to make this path a reality. The one person that encouraged me a lot would be Mrs. P. It's sad that she can't be here watching us. Sorry.
She's here watching.
I know she's here in spirit through all of us that knew her. She is one reason why I really wanted to graduate so bad. I remember taking my first class tour that I finished, and she was more excited than I was. She stood up and jumped up and down, cheering me on. And that was the greatest thing about taking my finished classes to her. My friends who are graduating with me know how hard we've all worked to get here, and how much fun we've had along the way. I'll never forget my 3 years here at Gateway. Dwight, I'll never forget the year or the time when you ate that whole spoonful of mustard. And Ronnie, when you take a whole full face full of sour cream and swallow that down. I would like to thank all the teachers here at Gateway for never giving up on me, especially when I gave up on myself. I would also like to thank my parents for not giving up on me. I would also like to thank my Aunt Kim and Uncle Mike, who have been behind the scenes encouraging me and kicking my butt. And I'd also like to give a shout out to my man Dennis, who has listened to me, never judged me, and has always helped me find my way no matter what. And all of you in the audience that have supported Gateway by letting us come to your places for community service and giving us money to pay for extra things that make us want to come to school. Thank you. Mr. Riddle, Mrs. Anderson, and Mr. Ordner, and the school board, thank you for making this school possible.
I think my favorite part about graduation is hearing from the students because they really speak from the heart, and you can tell that. But there are a lot of you in the audience that aren't related to a single graduate, but you're here because you support the program. And I would like to recognize those of you that aren't related to anyone here. Maybe you're a former teacher of a student, you're with a business or organization, you are a principal, a school board member, administration. If you are not related, but you're affiliated with us in some way, please stand. I'd like to recognize you. Tonight, we have 3 families that have sponsored scholarships. The first one is the Lambert family. Steve and Karen, would you join me up here? And Jasmine Mann. The Lambert Scholarship is sponsored by the family of Karen Brady Lambert and Stephen Lambert. As you all know, the word alternative has different meanings to different people. And so finding people to come as a substitute to our school can be challenging at times. It has to be a good fit for the substitutes as well as the students at the school. And so fortunately for us, Sherry Simmons, where are you, Sherry? Is our upstairs friend, thank you. She's always on the lookout for people that she thinks would be a good fit. Fortunately for us, even though the Lamberts are both retired and semi-retired, they were looking for something to do to fill some time. And so we thought that we would give it a try. And boy, was it a great fit. They came to our school as substitutes and they became like our family. And what a great feeling it is to know that you can call somebody and say, hey, we need you to fill in, and one of them are able to come. And because of their great commitment to the school, they started a scholarship. And the first recipient is Jasmine Mann for $1,000. Recognizes an individual from Gateway who exemplifies strong, proven leadership qualities, as well as participation in a variety of volunteer and community service activities. The individual, Jasmine, that earns a scholarship is a positive, hardworking, selfless individual that is eager and willing to go the extra mile. Congratulations, Jasmine. Okay, with the family of Beth Palmetier, come up, and Ronnie Rajat. This award is the Beth Palmetier Gateway Scholarship in the amount of $1,000. This is the second year of this scholarship, which is due to the great love Beth had for Gateway students. And as you can tell, she had a great impact on us, and we missed her greatly. She was one of the best advocates for our program and students. 2 years ago at this time, Beth was awarded for being an outstanding advocate for alternative education from the Michigan Alternative Education Organization. Even after she retired after working in the district for 27 years, she was still a very important part of the program. There were many times when Beth would encourage the students by giving them a shoulder to cry on or giving them a swift kick in the rear. Because of her influence, many of these students are graduating. This year's recipient is Ronnie Rajat. Okay, with Linda Engel, Nick Wilga, Anna Youngblood, Bridge Robinson, Winter Officer, Charlene Nations, John Yell, Brett Verity, please come to the stage. When Blair Holden, a longtime Rotarian and oldest husband, passed away, the Gull Lake Area Rotary Club and the Holden family celebrated his memory by establishing scholarships for alternative education students in his name. The Blair Holden Memorial Gull Lake Area Rotary Scholarship is a one-time gift of $1,000. These gifts go to Nick Wilga and Anna Youngblood. In addition, the Holden family is also awarding 5 one-time gifts of $500 to Rich Robinson, Winter Officer, Charlene Nations, John Yale, and Rhett Verity. Let's go ahead and put you between them. The scholarships are intended to benefit alternative education students who have demonstrated proficiency in his or her classes and mirror the values and standards of Bell Lake Community Schools.
John!
We have handed out $6,500 in scholarships today. Is that not incredible? Okay, almost your diplomas. Just hold on just a
John.
second. Okay, and before I forget, after the ceremony, everyone is invited to our refreshments. We will have sandwiches, pizza, and all sorts of things. Eat it because I don't want to clean it up and take it back to the school. Okay, no leftovers tonight. Okay, now for the part you have been waiting for. All right.
Noah Dimmick. Cheyenne Fleming. Taylor Jones. Taylor wanted to be here tonight because she has moved to Alabama. But if her mother could please stand so we can get another shot. Arkansas. Sorry. A-State's a long way
Come
away.
up here, hit a flower.
Dwight Mann.
Congratulations.
Jasmine Mann. Davion McKinley.
Congratulations.
Charlene Nation. Winter Officer.
Winter. Yeah. Can we have you go back?
Oh yeah, I was trying to get more photos. Do you get it?
Okay. Ronnie Rajat. Rich Robinson.
He's taking it with you.
Matthew Thomas.
Finally. Congratulations.
Sandy Thompson. Brett Verity.
Congratulations.
Nicholas Wilga. on to Yale.
John did it! Great speech.
Anna Youngblood.
Santa Claus.
I'll give you 2 minutes to hand out your flowers.
Tay, you better be giving me a flower. John, for me, you shouldn't have. For me, you shouldn't have. Yeah. Next year, for sure. Hey, Jay. What's up?
1 minute.
Good job, John.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. I think we still have somebody in the back. All right, graduates, if you would please stand. To the graduating class of 2018, it is now time to turn your tassel. And now present the Salt Lake Gateway Academy class of 2018.
See, man. What was that? Oh, yeah. Hit with that. Ah! See you, Tay.